tonight, it's my night because I'm simply the best. I'm the champion and I'm the GOAT of women's MMA.
125, it's my weight, it's my division, it's my field, and here is my rules.
You will never get to me. What can't be done, I'll do myself. I want to fall, but you lose the control inside. But you gotta keep on going. I want to burn. And don't face it.
Well, the MMA leader once again making its presence felt in the Great White North tonight. We come to you live from Toronto where the energy is undeniable and a capacity crowd is on hand to witness no fewer than 2 UFC championship showdowns. We are guaranteed, though, to get one new UFC champion here tonight. The UFC women's flyweight title is vacant, and Valentina Shevchenko trying to finally break through here against the former strawweight queen, Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
Oh my goodness, you want to talk about an absolute savage in the women's division. Valentina can do it from wherever, on the feet, and she's been doing it most of her career at 135 pounds against bigger, stronger women. We saw when she dropped down to 125 pounds, she was just dominant no matter where the fight went. She had good trips, takedowns, submission skills. She's got arm bars, but more importantly, her speed and counter ability are second to none. She is a savage, and she doesn't care about anything other than winning.
I think this is the perfect weight class for both women. I think it's great for Valentina to go down, and I think it's imperative for Joanna to come up. We have to remember that she was the boogie woman just a little while ago. This was the scariest woman in MMA. And now, not having to cut that additional 10 pounds, I think we're going to see a more invigorated, a more dynamic, and certainly a more durable Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
3 times Jędrzejczyk and Shevchenko met in amateur Muay Thai, the last of which was in 2008. This will be the 4th meeting between them. First, though, with an MMA rule set tonight.
Well, that is a big deal because Valentina won.
Coming up next, we are here already. Certainly feels like a women's super fight. Valentina Shevchenko may be the best fighter on the roster who has yet to realize a UFC title. That is precisely the opportunity in front of Bullet here tonight. She will try to complete that part of her quest against the former UFC strawweight champion, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. She's looking to carve out some rarefied air of her own as the first woman to win UFC titles in multiple divisions. The co-main event is on deck.
Valentina Shevchenko versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk for the UFC Women's Flyweight Championship. You're talking about 2 of the best strikers in women's mixed martial arts, period.
I faced Valentina Shevchenko for 3 times back in the day when I was a Muay Thai fighter. I thought that I was going to win the world championship, so after I lost, she was my kind of like motivation to, you know, keep on training and proving that I can beat her one day.
Oh, man. Oh, God. Just constant punishment by Jędrzejczyk. Total domination.
Won the belt in her 3rd UFC fight by stopping Carla Esparza. Went on to the 5 consecutive times.
We are looking at maybe the greatest female fighter this sport has ever seen.
You know, it's been 10 years and we are going to meet in the octagon, you know, not on the ring, so it's going to be totally different.
I expect to give and live everything in the octagon. It will be great stand-up war.
Valentina Shevchenko, she's a multiple-time world Muay Thai champion, and she is absolutely dangerous. She's very physically strong for 125 pounds. She's got a full arsenal of striking technique and has an outstanding ground game as well.
And there's the tap, flyweight division. Say hello to your worst nightmare.
I will do everything to win the fight. This is my year. My goal is title.
I have a chance to become the first UFC female fighter with 2 belts in different weight classes. I will be making history. Soon, baby.
Yes, she was a queen when she held the belt of strawweight, but this time she's coming in wrong territory because this territory is mine. No one and nothing can stop me.
So here is the mixed martial arts superstar Poland, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Her future is in the UFC Hall of Fame. Her present, this 9th UFC championship fight tonight as she tries to become the first woman to realize the UFC title in 2 different divisions.
We're going to find out a lot tonight, very shortly. First of all, we're going to find out how much that weight cut down to 115 was taking out of Joanna. We don't know. You know, it was brutal for her. There's no doubt about it. But how much of a difference does it make? And how much difference is it going to be for her to move up to 125 pounds? Also, we're going to find out, what did she learn from the Namajunas fights? What did she learn from losing her title? What did she learn from losing the rematch? And how much does she have left in the tank? These are the questions that we need to have answered. Because when she's at her best, she is a sensational striker. She is relentless and ferocious. She's got fantastic Muay Thai. Her jab is amongst the best in the sport, period. And she is a finisher. When she gets you hurt, this woman will uncork a barrage of explosive strikes to take you out.
Tonight's Prep Point is brought to you by EA Sports. UFC 3 available now for up to 70% off. Play as over 200 UFC favorites, including legendary Fight Night champion characters Andre Bishop and Isaac Frost. Get it today.
Yeah, I'm so curious just because Valentina has won 3 times in a Muay Thai fight. And obviously when we watch Joanna, her skill sets rely on her striking, her jab, her kickboxing. But she's already lost 3 times to this woman in a kickboxing match. And I think, based on their fights, that Valentina is still the better wrestler and the stronger woman. So I'm curious to see how much, since they've met those 3 times, has Joanna improved? How much more she's going to be able to have? She already has such a high output. Now that she's not depleting herself down to 115 pounds, what's that output going to look like tonight?
Yeah, and what is her strategy coming into this fight? Because they know each other so well, having gone through those 3 Muay Thai fights. I mean, she's an American top team trained fighter, so you know they put together a fantastic game plan. The question is, can she execute it?
And this is the 3rd time Mike Brown and the rest of the American top team have prepared a fighter for Valentina Shevchenko. They had the benefit of preparing Amanda Nunes twice. Tonight, Joanna Jędrzejczyk moving up to 125 pounds and looking to, in her mind, stamp herself as the greatest women's mixed martial arts athlete of all time. Well, you want to talk about a fighter with a lifetime in the game. Enter Kyrgyzstan's Valentina Shevchenko, the #1 UFC women's flyweight contender, as focused and as determined as any athlete on this roster as she tries to realize a UFC championship for the first time here in a matter of minutes.
That is a hard woman, ladies and gentlemen. UFC heavyweight champion Daniel Cormier said to me once, he looked at her and he looked at me and he goes, "She scares me." That's the heavyweight champ, folks. That's how badass Valentina Shevchenko is. And you're talking about a woman who beat Holly Holm at 135 pounds. Holly, who went on to challenge Chris Cyborg for the 145-pound title. Spectacular skill. She fights in a southpaw position. She has a nasty check right hook. Full arsenal of kicking techniques. Really strong in terms of the clinch and her ability to take fighters to the ground. And she can submit people. And she is the full package.
Listen, anytime somebody can hit you with a step-in axe kick and take you down and submit you all in the same fight, that's impressive.
And, you know, her win over Juliana Pena in a main event doesn't get the credit necessarily it deserves. Pena, for my money, is the meanest woman in MMA. She chewed her up and spit her out. Of course, you mentioned the Holly Holm win. Any number of different credentials you could shine the spotlight on for Shevchenko, but this is the prize that has eluded her for one reason or another. A lot of people thought she did enough to beat Amanda Nunes, did not get the nod that night. Tonight, I think there will be an outpouring of emotion if she's finally able to complete the job.
Well, it was certainly a close fight, and close enough that a lot of people did think she won. And you're talking about Amanda Nunes, who's one of the scariest strikers in any division. So this is a dangerous, dangerous woman. In terms of her firepower and her physical strength, I give her the advantage coming into this fight. In terms of her submission skills, I give her the advantage. But we're saying this based on who Joanna was at 115 when she was depleting herself. Who is she now? We're about to find out. Because at one point in time, she was the boogie woman, and everyone was scared of that lady.
Valentina Shevchenko with her initial MMA coach, Pavel Fedotov, and her sister, Antonina Shevchenko, in her corner tonight. All right, the UFC Women's Flyweight Championship is upon us. Here is your tale to take. Valentina Shevchenko, 30. Joanna Jędrzejczyk, 31. Jędrzejczyk, 1 inch taller. Both women making the championship limit with relative ease. Shevchenko will have a slight reach advantage of 1 inch. And now to get us started for this first of 2 championship fights, here is Bruce Butler.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the co-main event of the evening. Sponsored by Air Asia. Now everyone can fly. Our 3 judges scoring this contest at Octagon side are Benoit Roussel, Eric Cohen, and Jason Rogers. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, Todd Anderson. And now, this fight is 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC Flyweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a striker holding a professional record, 15 wins, 2 losses. She stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing in at 124 pounds. Fighting out of Olsztyn, Poland, presenting the #1 ranked strawweight contender in the world and the former UFC strawweight champion, Joanna And now introducing her opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a Muay Thai kickboxer holding a professional record, 15 wins, 3 losses. She stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighing in at 123 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Bishkek, Kazakhstan, presenting the #1 ranked flyweight contender in the world, Valentina "Bullet" Shevchenko.
Ladies, one of the rules in the back. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. If you wish to do gloves, touch now. Step back.
Skill for skill, about as much talent on the women's side as we have ever had inside that octagon at one time. The greatest strawweight champion in UFC history, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, moving up 10 pounds tonight to challenge perennial threat, lifelong martial artist Valentina Shevchenko.
Right.
And we are underway. Valentina Shevchenko in black takes the center of the octagon. Joanna Jędrzejczyk wearing that Polish red. Southpaw versus orthodox fighter here.
Valentina is a very unique mix of Muay Thai and traditional martial arts as well. You know, you see a lot of the way she throws her kicks. Sometimes she throws a Muay Thai style, but sometimes it looks like Kyokushin or Taekwondo.
And she's got a snap on it when she wants to, and she spins and throws axe kicks and hook kicks like a Taekwondo or karate practitioner.
And then again, she's got fantastic grappling and clinch work. Her takedowns are excellent.
She's just truly, she's a martial artist.
Yeah.
whatever she needs to do in the sport of MMA, she's going to go out and seek it out and train her best for that particular art form. Beautiful takedown, Joe.
Right into side control. The strength of this woman.
And that's in thinking about this fight, I feel like that is just where this fight was more guaranteed for Valentina, to get this fight to the ground. She's shown that she's got very good wrestling, and just when she gets on top, her control, she's relentless. Look at that squeeze. She's not letting Joanna move at all.
Well, she was this way at 135 with these bigger women. You see her down here now at 125 against a woman who fought at 115, and the strength difference is very evident. Also, the grappling experience.
Right. 7 career MMA wins by submission for the 17-time World Muay Thai and K1 champion Valentina Shevchenko.
She's tying her up in a crucifix. Joanna rolls. She gives up her neck, though. Oh, big knee.
But she's up. And that's one thing Joanna, she does really well. She does find the ways to get back up to her feet. She pops back up. She avoided any major damage there, but Valentina's staying right on her. She's looking for that.
She's got the head, but she could lose her.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, that's a tricky situation when you go for that headlock. You give up your back. But Joanna's not really a jiu-jitsu player. She just wants to get out of this.
She's trying to create space, push off.
But even if she does get out of this, she knows now that this girl's got a grip like a crocodile, slams her to the ground like that.
Yeah.
This is going to be in her mind as they exchange.
Oh, she's looking for that inside trip. Some good judo from Shevchenko.
Good everything.
Yeah, right?
And she's complete.
Pretty good job there by Jędrzejczyk to stay upright. Just over 2 minutes here to go round 1.
Valentina's got double underhooks here.
Got to wonder if part of the game plan for Shevchenko too is just wear her out. Joanna's got such a fast jab, straight punches down the middle, make her grapple in the first round. She knows she's got 5 rounds to work.
Or also, if there's anywhere that Valentina has a marked advantage, this is it. The strength, the clinch work, and the grappling. And most certainly the submissions. I mean, the way she submitted Juliana Pena from her back, I mean, nobody expected that, except maybe her camp.
Jędrzejczyk offers up a couple knees, but Shevchenko staying heavy here up against the fence. Referee calls for more action. Just over a minute to go.
Big shot on the break.
A lot of energy expended in that clinch on both sides.
Joanna shake out her shoulders there, but she still looks pretty fresh. She hasn't really committed to any of these punches yet. She's throwing out a lot of feelers.
Even the way she's throwing her kick, she's not rotating her hips over. The lead right hand of Valentina is one of her best weapons, and that really was evident in the Holly Holm fight. She used that beautiful right check hook. Oh!
She is fast. She doesn't waste any movement, Joe. She gets just out of the way of some of these leg kicks from Joanna as well.
Final 10 seconds of the first round. Combination from Shevchenko. Jędrzejczyk unable to find the range as yet.
Let her go, let her go.
And here we see Valentina gets the clinch. Look at that trip, beautiful, right into side control, and some nasty ground and pound from her from there. There's a nice elbow on the break. And there's that spinning back kick to the chest.
Fine, it'll be there. Measure, 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 long straight right.
When you push backward, you can push kick. The high kicks is doing very good, champ. The high kick with the right leg.
Do not rest on the cage. Do not underhook and circle off. Don't rest.
He has zero head movement. Okay?
Zero head movement. One straight.
Listen,
one
listen.
straight.
Touch the glove. The second one, commit to.
Yes.
Jab, okay? Right hand forward.
UFC 231 Holloway versus Ortega is presented by EA Sports UFC 3. Available now for up to 70% off. Play as over 200 UFC favorites, including legendary Fight Night champion characters Andre Bishop and Isaac Frost. Get it today. So Mike Brown, Cattell Kubis, Dia Davis giving Joanna a lot of things to think about there, Paul, after round one.
Yeah, for Joanna, touch the gloves, then commit. They want her to just keep the feelers out there. They're saying that Valentina also has no head movement. But she slides out of the way just well enough.
She's also got so much power. She might not have head movement, but she snaps back at you.
She'll counter right back at you.
It's so hard. And that front teep to the face was very nice.
Right.
But what Joanna has to do is she's got to get her respect. She's got to tag her with something.
She's got to commit, Joe. She's got to get in there.
But the problem is if she throws a kick, she's worried about it getting caught like it was at the end of the first round. She didn't throw that kick until the very end, the kick to the face, and Valentina immediately caught it. I mean, she's just coiled back like a spring, ready to blast.
Yeah. And she even seems to be able to match the speed of Jędrzejczyk, at least through 6 minutes.
Maybe even faster.
Yeah.
And she's firing back.
Yeah, she doesn't give you any freebies.
And then there's the question of, does Joanna carry her power into this division? I mean, she wasn't a one-shot knockout artist at 115.
Right.
But she's also more of a technician than she is a brawler anyway.
Last finish for Joanna actually came all the way back in June of 2015 against Jessica Pena.
And that was a barrage.
Yes.
I mean, that was a horrific beatdown that led to the stoppage.
Yeah, that was just nose and swelling and lumps and
everything.
Accumulation of strikes as opposed to, like we were talking about, that one shot.
Right after the main event, don't miss a recap of all of tonight's action from Toronto on the UFC 231 post-fight show on FS1. It also streams live on the Fox Sports app, and in Canada, you can find it on TSN.
Joanna pressing forward, though.
There's a good
body
shot.
kick. Oh, straight left. Nice combination. You see Valentina, she's waiting to counter. That's where she works best.
And she has been at her efficient best here tonight, coming up on the midpoint of round two.
Nothing to it with that body. She blocks it with her forearms like it's nothing. And both these girls with a respectable bark when they throw their strikes as well.
Jędrzejczyk lands to the body, but one and done. Significant strikes, pretty evenly matched, but Shevchenko far more efficient here through 7 minutes.
Counter right hook. That's that right hook we're talking about, Joe.
Jędrzejczyk is switching back and forth as well from southpaw to orthodox, really trying to find the correct formula. There's that head kick and gets taken down. And that's what she was worried about. And that's, I'm sure, Valentina wants to punish her every time she goes for that.
Amplitude takedown from Shevchenko. And now we will see what she can do with it. About 90 seconds with which to work. Third time thus far that Shevchenko has grounded Joanna.
Ooh. Slashing elbow there from the top from Valentina. Joanna's got that underhook, but Valentina's using it against her. She's got a trap. She's so strong. She's like, okay, you have that underhook, but now I have your arm, and I can land those elbows.
Well, Valentina definitely has a much broader arsenal when it comes to the ground game. Joanna's ground game is much more defense-oriented. Her goal is just to get back up to her feet.
See what yeah, and she can't get that arm back, so it's not helping her at all. Usually you dig for that underhook, you know, you press her up, try to get to a hip, get to a knee, and get up, but Shevchenko's like, no, you're not going anywhere. I've got that arm now.
Yeah, I mean, the physical strength and the grappling ability is so evident that it leans towards Shevchenko.
Pretty good work with the elbows. Positional control here for Shevchenko down the stretch of round 2.
You want to back up to her feet, nicely done. Oh, ate a hard knee. And back press down.
Another strong round for Valentina Shevchenko.
Let's take a look at some of these replays. Here's that teep square to the mouth of Joanna. And a nice body kick there from Valentina. And here we go again. Off of the exchange, some nice punches traded back and forth, but this body lock to a takedown and keeps that side control for almost the rest of the round. Here, right at the end of the round, she lands that nice knee right on the jaw of Joanna Jedrzejczyk, and then ends up taking her down again.
Make sure she's not touching you. Be cautious. Don't make a mistake. She's playing her game, but you gotta make sure you play your game.
The unauthorized reproduction or distribution of this copyrighted work is illegal and punishable under law. And we talked earlier tonight about some of these mastermind coaches in the corners of these fighters. And how about Pavel Fedotov? This is a guy who was mixing the martial arts before it was the thing to do. And he has really turned these Shevchenko sisters into some absolute monsters in MMA.
Doubled up that front kick.
She does that so well, that teep, that front leg. And again, that's what you talked about earlier, that physical dexterity in the legs that she has from just that wide arsenal of striking techniques.
And that's the perfect blend, Joe. We were talking about traditional Taekwondo, and look at how easily she checks that kick to her. It's just a beautiful check. But she mixes those so well with the snap, but the way she stays balanced on her back leg, she's always just sliding that lead leg out of the way of those kicks. Oh! Back kick.
What timing on that.
Right? Oh, she's so good. She mixes it up so well. The teep pulls out, and her defense is always so on point.
And she might have one of the best spinning back kicks in the game. There's just no
tell.
Yeah,
right.
Nothing. No telegraphing at all. And she doesn't move her feet. She does it from that position. She a little switch right there. You saw a little twitch.
Yeah, she thought about it. Oh, Joanna almost slipped a front kick up the middle.
And you see some damage on that nose of Jędrzejczyk.
Ducked in there, that right hand. Oh, hard leg kick.
Ooh. Spinning heel kick. And again, Joe, just like you talked about before, every time she throws that, she tries to make her pay. Joanna did a great job getting back up to her feet. Didn't really get a takedown off of it, but now she's thinking, every time I throw that, she's been sweeping me, catching it, taking me down off of it.
And she's felt Shevchenko's strength in the ground. It's just, there's such a difference in their ability when it comes to grappling.
Valentina just so concentrated. There's never a mental lapse. Just picks her spots beautifully, landing 50% of her strikes. 9 takedown attempts already. Nice stick there by Joanna.
Yeah, she needs more of that. She needs to commit to that right hand. Easier said than done, of course, because you got to get in close. And the counter ability of Valentina is outstanding.
Well, that was a good indication right there. Joanna landed that front kick and slipped out of the way. Oh, there's the head kick. There it is. Ooh, she makes it pay for it with that straight left.
Two minutes here to go, round 3.
Hard inside leg kick by Valentina.
And Joanna lands to the body.
Oh, Joanna, good job slipping out of the way of that left hand.
The Jędrzejczyk corner likes the pace at which this round has been fought.
Oh, man. I mean, she is just like a little pit bull. She gets hold of that head.
Joanna's laughing.
Pretty good sign of the improved strength of Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Did a lot of weight training, trying to add muscle for her move up to this division, however temporary.
Man, both ladies trading kicks back and forth. That's interesting, though. You know, you add on that muscle and you don't plan on necessarily staying in that weight class. It doesn't just disappear overnight. And that was already a challenging weight cut for her to get down to straw weight. So that's an interesting move to try to add on muscle. So I would hope that it's more than a one-fight move to flyweight.
I guess it's all dependent upon her performance in this fight. She's probably just so concentrating on Valentina.
Shevchenko gets the body lock. Unable to get Jędrzejczyk down.
Whoa.
Oh, Shevchenko raises the knee and lands.
That's some flexibility right there, folks.
Again.
15 minutes down, we will follow Joanna Jędrzejczyk into the blue corner. Red corner.
Ай, чтобы она накидывала. Ничего не давай накидывать. She's low down, Jay. She's low down. She's low down.
We gotta come strong, Jay. We gotta come strong.
What you do if you keep waiting, sticking, do step back, sticking, do step back. You can do that all day. Okay? But please pay attention. Don't throw the first one heavy. Throw the first one and go for second one. Second one can be cross. Second one can
Your feints are working for you. Every time you feint, you're scoring off of that. Yeah. All right? So let's stay busy with the feints.
Long
straight stick after.
Long straight right. Long straight right.
Seconds out. Stay on your feints, all right? Your feints are working for you. Keep using it.
We have arrived at the championship rounds of this UFC Women's Flyweight Championship. Paul, you keep hearing Mike Brown in that corner talk about that long straight right. They've been talking about it from the outset, but it's about committing to it, right? Not just throwing.
Yeah, and when she did it was a much better round, I feel like, Joanna. I mean, Valentina ended up in the clinch, almost taking her down there at the end. Had her back for a second, but she seems to be committing and more confident in her strikes and moving forward. See, even there, she stood there and tried to counter Valentina, whereas before she was just kind of touching with these punches. Now she's really trying to get in there and land them.
Yeah, she's picking up the pace for sure. I think she recognizes that she's probably behind in this fight, and she's really got to pick it up. Here she switches southpaws again.
Conditioning usually a weapon for Jędrzejczyk down the stretch. Shevchenko very strong in that department as well. And even though Valentina doesn't have the championship experience of Jędrzejczyk, most of her recent UFC fights have been 5-rounders.
Nice knee to the body there of Valentina, and here's that clinch again.
Oh, nice elbow over the top from Valentina. Yeah, but Joanna looking much better here in these later rounds of this fight.
Yeah, she looks like she's picking up the pace, and Valentina looks like she's slowing down a bit.
Yep, her pace has waned. She's also attempted 12 takedowns, which requires a lot of energy.
But so does defending them.
Yeah. Counter right lands for Shevchenko.
I think you know what it is. I think it's also discouraging, right? So it's not necessarily which one's more physically taxing. I think it's the person offensively trying to get the takedown and doesn't get it, that can drain you a little more just because it's also frustrating and diminishing. But she's got it now.
Right into side control. And nowhere near the cage. So Joanna's not going to be able to press her back up against the cage and wall walk.
Jędrzejczyk tries to hip escape, unable to.
But at least she got her into half guard.
Got that underhook again, but last time she did that...
She's giving up her back. She's giving up her back. She can't just do this. She can't just try to stand up like this. Wow, she's going to pull it off, though. Wow.
We're definitely seeing some... I mean, that strength and conditioning program, whatever Joanna's on, is working. She's showing that she's physically strong. She's hanging in here and getting up from these things. She could be taking the back,
Yeah,
Joe.
it looks like she's trying to take her back now.
She's got one hook over.
Yeah.
She's still in the headlock.
Yep.
She should just jump and throw that leg over.
Yeah. I mean, this is a bad position right now for Valentina. If she was there with an experienced grappler, she'd probably let this go and get out of this. But this is a good spot for Joanna if she can get her head out.
She's out.
Yeah, she's out. And Valentina recognized that.
Yeah,
she recognized it was a slippery spot. I mean, you go back to Liz Carmouche versus Ronda Rousey, same situation. Ronda liked to take girls down with a headlock. She wound up getting her back taken, and she just, out of sheer toughness, gutted her way out of that rear naked choke.
Yeah, it's such a dangerous position to put yourself in if you don't land that. If you're not an expert at that throw,
and even if you are, depends on
it could backfire on you for sure.
Yeah, depends on who you're doing it to. It's a very controversial move.
Double underhooks for Shevchenko. About a minute to go here in round 4.
Great job here defensively from Joanna.
But here's the situation we have to ask ourselves. How much did Valentina cut to get down to this weight class? And is it diminishing her at all? And since Joanna's going up, I mean, she looks fresher right now. I mean, she looked fresher in the exchanges. I mean, we're just talking a slight bit, but enough that I'm noticing that she's coming on strong in the 4th, and Valentina seems to be fading a little bit. Now, look, Joanna got back up to her feet. She almost took her back.
Yeah, these later rounds, 4th round and the 3rd round for Joanna.
That exchange right there. Like Valentina's punches and her kicks just a little slower than before.
And I know some were surprised that Shevchenko came in a full pound and a half below the 125-pound championship limit.
Yeah, she might have overamped it.
And a lot of times that can be a scale issue too, whatever you're using for your cut.
Pretty good land there towards the end of the round from Jędrzejczyk.
It feels like she was really coming on strong at the end of that round.
Don't let her do what she wants. Don't let her jump around. Don't forget your knee. Don't punch in the air. Punch her. This is the last round. Don't let her move around. And now she's going to risk. She's going to use elbows now. So make sure you watch out for the elbows.
You can do it. Best conditioning in the world. Put this bitch away.
There's a takedown by Shevchenko, and there's a nice knee right to the nose. She's fantastic at that high knee in the clinch, and this is the end of the fight. Joanna going after her.
These fighters have so much mutual respect for one another. 4th time they have met in a combat sports setting. For Valentina Shevchenko, now 5 minutes potentially away from finally becoming a UFC champion.
Joanna's corner pleading on her to test her. Look at that, nice right hand. To really push her endurance. She said she's in excellent condition. Nice front kick to the body by Joanna.
Joanna clearly appears to be the fresher fighter here. You've heard Mike Brown often talk about Joanna having the muscles engaged the whole time because he feels like she can do it. She has the conditioning to go 25 hard minutes.
Well, you're seeing that. I mean, she's amped up her pace in the 3rd, 4th, and now 5th rounds and looks completely fresh. She doesn't look tired at all. But the strength of Shevchenko is the difference here. Even if she's getting back up, she's constantly on her, knocking her to the ground, getting control, but having trouble here in the 5th.
She's had a hard time taking Joanna down consistently.
Yeah, and she's slowing down. You can see that here in the 5th round. You gotta wonder, is it the cut or is it just Joanna's conditioning is that good?
It could be her approach, that everything she does with full power.
So tense.
Yeah.
Shevchenko running a little bit of clock here in the clinch. 3.5 minutes to go.
Do something with Valentina. Work it out.
Now Todd Anderson calls for more action from Valentina.
Yeah, Valentina's just holding on here.
Yeah,
this
she's
is
definitely stalling.
Yeah, this is a fatigued fighter.
And Joanna's staying busy. Even if they're little teeny rabbit punches, she's still working. She's scoring
Referee's going to
points.
separate them.
Well, I agree with that.
Yeah, I do too. I do now. So I want to see it.
All right, back to the center. We'll see what Joanna can do with the separation. Lands a flush right there.
Ooh, slip?
Yeah, no, it's just feet tangled.
Both women have very nice front kicks to the body.
Ooh.
All right, let's check in on that ATT corner. Mike Brown and crew cornering Jędrzejczyk.
Little closer, little closer.
Come on.
Get ready, move your head in the cross. Move your head in the cross, you're gonna catch her. Cross, move your head, cross.
Oh, much less steam on that back kick now.
Organize yourself. Yeah, close the distance, 3-2.
Being too high, something big.
Less than 2 minutes now to decide the UFC Women's Flyweight Championship. Joanna continuing to try to force the issue here late. Beautiful stick by Shevchenko.
We could be in a situation here where Joanna has to land something big.
Yeah.
The takedowns, the control in the clinch, the power of her kicks and punches. She could be well behind in this fight right now.
Based on how it's going, it would have to be something crazy, Joe. It would have to be a big head kick or something like that, a spinning back fist.
And Shevchenko starting to let it go here a little bit late. Under a minute now to go.
Work out the fence, let's go.
We'll see if Joanna can circle out here.
Nice knee from Joanna.
Final 30 seconds of the fight.
Oh, there it is again. Woo. Oh, man.
Nice right hand.
And Joanna just pressing forward, though. Look at this.
Oh. She got touched by a spinning back fist there. Final 10 seconds now. So Valentina Shevchenko and Joanna Jędrzejczyk go the distance in this UFC Women's Flyweight Championship fight. Unofficially, both fighters landed exactly 92 significant strikes. Shevchenko a touch more efficient tonight. This replay brought to you by Nemiroff. Bold character since 1872.
And here we see Valentina with the clinch and the trip, lands into side control. And there's a elbow on the break. And there's that spinning back kick to the chest. Front kick to the face. There's that check right hook. And here's another takedown. Again, every time she took her down, almost every single one of them went straight to side control. Another one, boom, same thing. There's that high knee. I mean, this is a Valentina highlight reel here. Spinning back fist.
All right, a summary of the fight here. Significant head strikes advantage Shevchenko. Jędrzejczyk did some fine work to the body. Leg kicks evenly matched. 5 takedowns unofficially on 16 attempts for Shevchenko. Only 3 minutes of top position time. Her physicality certainly was a big factor in this fight. But in a lot of respects, even if in a losing effort, Jędrzejczyk, I think, has a lot to be proud of in moving up tonight.
Oh, absolutely. She looked great. She's just not as physically strong as Shevchenko, and I think those takedowns are ultimately what are going to be the decision maker here.
The official decision is brought to you by the Metro by T-Mobile. Get unlimited high-speed data all month long on the same network as T-Mobile. With the scorecards, we go inside the octagon now to Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score the contest 49-46 for the winner by unanimous decision and new undisputed UFC flyweight champion of the world, Valentina "Bullet" Shevchenko.
I'm here with the winner and new champion, Valentina Shevchenko. You have waited so long to hear those words. Finally, you hear them. How does it feel to finally get the UFC strap?
You know, Joe, I was waiting for so long this moment. It's the magic words what I wanted to hear so long time ago. And I want to share this special moment with my sister, Antonina. I want her to stand right next to me because it's not only my work, it's work of all my team. My coach, Pavel Fedotov, my manager, Roger, one of the sparring partners, Robbie Chow, he's here. And I want to say thank you very much for everyone who was part of this amazing way to this belt. And of course, I want to say thank you very much to all my supporters around all the world. And of course, to Kyrgyzstan, to Russia, and to Peru.
You had so much success at 135 pounds, but this was really your natural weight class. What did it feel like to fight in this weight class finally and to go a full 5 rounds against someone as good as Joanna?
You know, I'm very happy that I get this belt in the fight with Joanna because she's really professional. And I was not like worried about what this fight will happen or not will happen because I knew she's very responsible. And this is more valor for me to get this belt from this kind of fight than with any other opponent.
Your technique looked absolutely sensational tonight. Everything was flawless. Congratulations and welcome to the championship list.
Quiero decir muchas gracias a todos mis fanatos de toda Latinoamérica que me están apoyando y que me siguen. Los quiero mucho. И также хочу передать большой привет своему родному Кыргызстану, всей России и всем болельщикам из стран СНГ. Спасибо, что меня поддерживаете.
The new flyweight champion of the world, ladies and gentlemen, Valentina Shevchenko.
Well, when the UFC introduced the UFC women's flyweight division, many believed it was an eventuality that Valentina Shevchenko would become its champion. And now as we sit here, December 8th, 2018, the path to flyweight gold goes through Valentina Shevchenko.